Dude, are you tired of dragging along your clients, customers, and distributors? Are you tired of pulling them along? Well, you're in luck because today we are talking about how to step up as a leader, command respect, and stand out as an influencer in the online space. If you don't know who I am, my name is Jen Casey. I am a business strategy coach, and I help online entrepreneurs, specifically those in the health and wellness field, go from social media to sales. And this topic today of really learning how to step out as a leader is one of the biggest things that I am hearing recently. I don't know why, but this seems to be a very hot topic. So the first piece of this that I really want to share with you today is stop waiting for permission to be a leader. Stop waiting for permission. I recently launched my podcast, and I had so many people reaching out to congratulate me, which was really lovely and really wonderful, but it really got me thinking about the fact that I feel like maybe so many people think that I needed to be selected. I wasn't specifically selected to be a podcast host. My stuff was approved by iTunes and Stitcher, but at the end of the day, you know who asked me to be a podcaster? No one. Nobody asked me to do that. I decided for myself that I wanted to create a podcast. I had the audacity to go out there and say, I have something that maybe people want to hear, and I'm just going to put it out there and be really, really freaking bold. And this is not something that came easily to me, and I know it's not something that comes easily to most people in this society. And I'll tell you that I maybe have a little bit of this oomph to me because I grew up as an actor, performing, auditioning all the time. And when you are constantly going into rooms with casting directors behind the table, and you're going in there and you're doing your best 16-bar cut, or maybe even your best 8-bar cut because they've got a long line of people, and you've waited there for 6 hours already. You got there at 5 o'clock in the morning. You waited out on a cold city street, and now you're finally getting seen, and they just go, "Great, thank you." And you don't hear anything. That to me just got a little bit tired after a while. I was kind of over it. I was sick and tired of waiting for someone to choose me. I was tired of waiting for the call. I was way over having to constantly feel like I needed to keep up with what everybody else was doing to make sure that I was going to auditions, learning sides, trying to memorize things, and basically I was running around in circles on someone else's agenda. And at the end of the day, it all really came down to that someone else behind a closed door was going to decide whether or not I was successful. And there were a million things that were against me. I was a soprano, so I wasn't a belter. I was pretty enough to be an ingenue, but I was still kind of quirky. I had a soprano voice, but I was too short to play any leads at that higher level of Broadway. A million things were against me, right? I was an okay dancer, but not good enough to be in the chorus. And it didn't matter because I wasn't tall enough to be in the chorus anyway, right? All of these things were working against me, and I just got to the place where I was like, I'm going to make my own destiny. I'm not going to wait around for some random person to tell me, you've made it, you're good enough. And that's something I really want to instill in all of you today. And I remember when I went to this incredible seminar with Bo Eason, who's an amazing, amazing teacher and mentor of mine, who really teaches how to compellingly tell your story. He's brilliant. And I got on stage, did my little thing, and when I stepped off, he was like, wait a minute, you're a freaking firecracker. You're like a little Holly Hunter. What do you do for a living? And I was like, I have this online business, and I'm also an actor. And he was like, listen, never wait around for somebody else to tell you that you've made it. And that had been his journey as well. He's like, you get to decide, create your own opportunities. Create your own opportunities. That's it. Create your own opportunities. Stop waiting for somebody else to give you a platform. Stop waiting for somebody else, your mom, your brother, your dad, to finally acknowledge you. You don't need their permission or acknowledgement. You've got everything that you need inside of you, and I know you feel it. So just let it out, because it's been a long time that it's been stowed up in there. It's ready to just fire out to the world. And one other thing that he said that always stuck with me is, be so good that they can't look away. Be so good that they can't look away. And I think this is so powerful and so true. Be it, if you're building a business in the online space, if you're trying to be an actor, whatever profession you are in, you can get distracted. You can be squirrel syndrome, looking at what everybody else is doing, or you can make the decision to keep your head down, to keep focused. And this is what I talk about with a lot of the clients that I work with. They're squirrel syndrome when they come in, and we're kind of like the squirrel tamers, and we get them to the place where they are racehorses, where they are focused, where they have those blinders on, where they're not looking around at what everybody else is doing. They're not looking at the competition. They are solely focused on their path and their desired end result. And that is a huge piece of really stepping forward as a leader and not waiting for somebody else to give you that green light. Give that green light to yourself. The second thing I want to talk about is how your experiences are a reflection. Your experience, what you're experiencing right now, is simply a reflection of your current thoughts and beliefs. And so when we get into these holding patterns, we'll call them, holding patterns of belief, it can be really difficult to recognize what is going wrong, right? We are essentially a mirror for the people and situations that are attracted into our businesses. And so I work with a lot of people who are really struggling with people maybe in their client base, or people in their industry, or maybe their fellow distributors, or people that they are coaching who are struggling with money blocks, where they feel like something is too expensive. Money blocks, money beliefs. Maybe they feel like their team is really disorganized. There's some issues with confidence. No one really has total clarity in their goals, and they're like, my clients they're not hitting their goals. What's happening? Or maybe even those people are struggling in their relationships. But it all really comes down to the fact that if you are the leader, then you need to lead. And if your people and the people that you are managing, the people on your team, the people that you're coaching, if they are all having similar issues, it's time for you as the leader to take a step back and really assess where that's actually coming from. Because oftentimes those things are just a reflection of our own beliefs. And so, for example, if you have a team of network marketers who are all having difficulty selling a certain product because they keep coming across money objections and they're having a hard time getting people to buy, and this is something that's happening over and over again, you really need to step back and say, is this something that I passed on to them? Or is this something, how did I attract all of these people who had struggles with money? That's such an important piece of this. And when we have people that have these confidence blocks or limiting beliefs, it's very difficult for many individuals, they want to take care of everyone. They want to be the mama bird, and sometimes it's nice to have that recognition that you feel needed. I get that. I so get that deep down to a spiritual level. However, if you are the mama bird and you're always taking care of the birds with the broken wing, and you're going to take them from broke and overweight and just in shambles to this successful rock star, but they don't want it, well, guess what? You are picking people who do not want help, who want someone to complain to, who are maybe not ready for a real solution, and who are not really ready to put in the work. And so what ends up happening is many, many individuals end up dragging the people that they are trying to work with. And there is nothing more frustrating or really more damaging to one's confidence as a leader than having a whole boatload of people that they're affiliated with that they feel like they have to drag along. That's really not necessary. It's really not necessary. So I would really start to ask yourself, what needs to change? Are you attracting the right types of people and clients into your business? And if you are not, ask yourself, what would you today, as someone who is successful, what would you need to see someone like a life coach, a business coach, a health coach, what would they need to be putting out energetically or as far as their content? What kinds of things would they need to be talking about in order for you to go and invest with them? What would you need to see? Right? A lot of times I work with network marketers who are trying to build business builders in their business. And they're like, well, I don't know what to post to attract these people in. Well, what attracted you? And now you today, maybe 2 or 3 years in, what would light your fire and go, that's the thing I need to do? Or if you're a life coach and you're promoting your services, or a health coach promoting your services, how are you speaking so clearly to someone that they just know this person knows how to take care of me and I know they're going to show up for me? I think honestly that leadership begins with showing up in the online space. When you're kind of a newbie to the online space and you're maybe inconsistent with showing up every day, with getting on live video, with posting, with sharing blogs, or maybe this person has paid you to coach them and maybe you're not showing up for them 100% in that arena either. Well, what does that say about how you are taking care of them? Are you really showing up in a big way as that leader? And like I said, if you're continuously attracting those broken birds into your business, I give you this challenge to really take a look at the people that you are trying to market to. Sometimes we feel like we're not good enough to go after those 10s. And what do I mean by 10s? It's like those people who are like 10 out of 10, like going up to that person, seeing if they want to work together would scare the bejesus out of me. Or going up to that person and asking if they want to collaborate, absolutely not. Totally scary. They're probably going to say no. Well, guess what? That's the person that you need to go and speak to. You need to go talk to them. And I don't care if you feel like you are able to actually coach this person. I want you to go and connect with them. You don't have to pitch them anything, but go and build that relationship with that individual. Why not? What are you waiting for? If you're ready to up-level your mindset, get around other people who are at that next level. Because if you keep hanging around people who you have to take care of, you're going to have a very difficult time moving your life and your business and your happiness in a more positive direction. Okay? So when we're looking at this as well, I really want you to identify the objections and fears of the people that you're currently working with. So we're going back to this for a second and really understand what's going on for them. And if they're not willing to make those changes, you do not need to continue dragging these people, okay? And if you're getting on the phone with people who are giving you those money objections and money blocks, you do not need to give discounts. I do not want any of you giving discounts. You never need to justify your services. Never justify your services. Because when you are giving discounts or when you are wasting time speaking with other people who are not valuing your time, energetically everybody just drops down and no one wins, okay? And this kind of ties into number 3, which is to really set boundaries for your customers, your clients, your coaches, your distributors. Set boundaries. And I challenge you to actually command respect from them. Command that respect because you are the person that is going to set the tone for the rules, the guidelines, and how things work. So when someone comes into that scenario, you are the one that is telling them exactly the breakdown. And you think about, kids when they go into school, teachers, they say, no smiling until Christmas time. Because they need to set some rules down for the students so that they understand that relationship. Because if you are going up to people and trying to be their friend and saying, hey girl, yeah, we're besties, let's be BFFs, that doesn't truly, that does not create in my opinion at least, I don't believe that creates the best scenario for success for either party. Because when someone sees you as a friend or a peer, they don't take things as seriously. It's a little bit more casual. It's my friend. She won't care, right? But when you are able to step into your personal power of respect and people start to see you as that coach, as that influencer, as that thought leader, they're not going to waste your time. They're not going to mess around. Because when people are not showing up to calls or when they're not showing up prepared, you have every right to say, all right, well, listen, we're going to have to reschedule because these are my clear expectations that I've outlined for you. And you, as the business owner and as the leader, have every right to hold that person to it. And we also have to remember that people who are looking for support, who are looking for help, they're coming to you because they want that accountability. And maybe that, being a little bit more tough is maybe not your personal style, but sometimes people need a good little kick in the booty to get their act together, right? So I want you to also recognize that the speed of the leader is the speed of the pack. The speed of the leader is the speed of the pack, right? And you may have heard that before. But when we really take a look at the way that they lead, whether it be their level of consistency in the way that they post, it be their consistency in the way that they teach and share, that is going to get passed down. The people that you are coaching and leading are going to go along with whatever guidelines you have set, and they are going to show up the way that you have set that expectation. And so if you are being inconsistent, if you bring a level of lack of confidence or disbelief, or if you're really flaky and you're constantly rescheduling and you don't really show up and you're like, oh yeah guys, I don't know, I just didn't really feel like working hard this month. And then you're surprised when your people that you're coaching or your team is not showing up. There's really no big surprise. It really comes down to the fact that you are the leader and you set the tone for everything that happens. You are the person that is creating that culture, whether it be that individual culture together or that larger team culture, and you're setting those expectations. So, really recognize that these are all little pieces that you want to just have in place. Just go through your business and really think about those little touch points where you're interacting and where you can maybe improve this process. And I would actually almost encourage you to have some kind of client agreement form. Now, when I work with my clients one-on-one, which I only offer to people who have gone through my course, it is high-level coaching, and there are very serious expectations of showing up. I don't get on calls with people if they haven't done their work. And I'm not total hard-ass about it. Listen, if somebody, I have all of my clients submit a form, and on this form, I ask them, what did we talk about last time? What have you achieved since we last spoke? And what didn't you get to? And sometimes the things that they didn't get to, there might be some interesting pieces we want to uncover, like lack of confidence, mindset blocks that we need to work through. But overall, if it's something outside of that or it's happening on a consistent basis, that becomes a conversation that we really need to have, because the expectation is that they are showing up. You get to own that as a business owner. Your time is valuable and you get to decide how it gets spent. And if you have a client agreement form, or if you're in network marketing and you have somebody fill out a little type form or woohoo form before you have that call with them, you have every right to set those extremely high expectations for what is required before they get on the phone with you. Because I'll tell you, I used to be really lax about this kind of stuff, and people would show up and they wouldn't get their stuff done. And I finally got to the point where one day I just said to a girl, I said, well, you know what? We're going to have to reschedule, because I'm not going to waste an hour repeating everything we just talked about on the last call, because that's not a good use of either of our time. And I really want to empower you to go back and do the work, because you know exactly what you need to do. We bulleted it out. You had your homework listed. So you know what? Instead of wasting this hour repeating this, I'm going to give you the next hour that you've blocked out already to go and implement some of the things we discussed. Not mean. I'm holding them accountable. They hired me for a reason. So when you are stepping forward in the online space and you want to be seen as a leader and an influencer, and you really want to have that power and command that respect, it really begins with the way that you come forth, the way that you come forward, the way that you present yourself, the rules that you lay down, because people will treat you the way that you ask to be treated. That's it. People will treat you the way that you ask to be treated. The way that if you allow them to push you around, if you allow people to do whatever the heck they want to do, there'll be a whole crazy band of crazy kids, right? They'll just run amok. They'll color on your walls with crayon and permanent marker, and you won't get anything done. And then you don't have testimonials, they don't make progress, and no one wins. People are coming to you because they want somebody who's smarter than them in that niche, in that area, to hold them accountable and help them work through that problem, whatever that thing is. So go out there, guys, and I'm giving you this permission today, if you need it. I'm giving you this permission to go out there and be a little bit tougher, be a little bit meaner. You're not going to hurt anybody's feelings. You are going to watch that people respect the crap out of you for respecting yourself. So that is what I have for you guys today. If you want to sign up for this challenge, it is a 5-day challenge that I am running. You can head to heyjencasey.com/clients-confidence-training. And you can get all of the replay videos. Plus, I'm going to share little extra PDFs and bonuses with you guys if you are on that list. So make sure you go ahead and sign up. Someone can post it below, or I'll leave it for you guys after. And yeah, guys, just go out there and own your power. Have a good one. I will talk to you soon. Bye.